Good evening, my fellow exorcists, and welcome to the Lair of the Film Exorcist. Tonight I will be reviewing Scream 2020, or, as I like to call it, Scream 5. 25 years after a streak of brutal murders shocked the quiet town of Woodsboro, California, a new killer dons the ghost face mask and begins targeting a group of teenagers to resurrect secrets from the town's deadly past. Now, I just went to go see this movie tonight with my new girlfriend, Carissa, and my parents, and I love this movie. I mean, it's better than 3, it's better than 4. This is the series that took a modern look at the slasher movie, giving us an idea of what it would be like to be in the real world, where essentially the rules of Halloween, Friday the 13th, and the other famous slasher movies kind of play a huge part into this movie, and you actually have to follow these rules to survive, while also analyzing what the killer would do. And here, by modernizing it, they added like the idea of a smart lock where you can lock your door from your phone. We're following Tara and Sam, but mostly Sam, because Sam is dealing with the Billy Loomis thing, which is kind of hinted at the beginning, where we see her essentially talking to Billy's ghost, or like a manifestation of him from seeing the movies, the stab movies. We also get the main cast back. The killer is going after everyone. You get the phone call at the beginning and throughout the movie, and essentially it leads up to some brutal knife kills, like one character gets stabbed through the side of the throat. They carve the side of his throat out. Another one gets stabbed, another one gets shot and then lit on fire. I'm gonna be honest, this is a spoiler review. I should have mentioned that at the beginning. Hopefully Silva adds that at the beginning. But essentially, this puts an end to some of our beloved characters like Deputy Hicks, who dies with her son in broad daylight, which kind of makes me confused because where are all the people in this neighborhood while she's dying? Like, you're killing her in broad daylight and nobody sees this? Nobody at all sees this woman being killed? Or her son being killed? I mean, what the hell? Dewey, essentially learning from his previous mistakes, essentially getting stabbed 9 times over the previous 4 movies, he learns his lesson. He shoots the killer, he forgets about the bulletproof vest, he saves the main 2 sisters and Gail, and essentially goes back and he dies. Sadly, we lose Dewey because he goes back to shoot the killer in the head, and the killer just guts him like a fish. Like, just all those times he's been stabbed do not compare to this. Like, this is gory as hell. Some random guy gets killed. We also watch the nephew get stabbed to death. These characters are a lot smarter. Like, they do try to defend themselves. They actually bring blunt objects. They actually fight back, unlike the original movies. And essentially this shows that no matter what you do, you can't save yourself from the killer. I mean, if you do drugs or you drink or you do whatever, you're essentially screwed. I mean, then again, Randy's niece survives because she did none of these things. She essentially followed the rules and survived. Sydney survives. Gail survives. The 2 sisters survives, and we learn who the 2 killers are. Like, I knew it had to have been the boyfriend in the movie again. And it was the friend that's supposed to die at the beginning of the movie. And because of this, essentially it's kind of a rehash of the original movie. Like, They're redoing the idea of, oh, it's the boyfriend and it's the friend. But there's a twist. These two are essentially weird movie buffs who just want to fix what the previous Stab movie did. They want to make their own movie. They essentially want to correct the mistakes of the previous movie writers, and it takes the idea of what happens when two Reddit creators take things a little too far and take their fandom too far and try to kill essentially the important people of the previous movies. It takes fandom to a whole other level, and I love it. I do. I really do. And funny thing is, and it took me a while to realize this while I was watching the movie, but they even bring back the original house. They bring back Stu's house from the original movie, and that actually is the final act's main stage, which actually is really cool, and you can actually see a lot of similarities to the first movie. Don't ruin this. We got a good ending to Sid, we got a good ending for Gale, for the entire cast. Just leave it as is and don't change anything. Don't go back and create an alternate ending. Don't make another sequel. I'm fine with this. I want this franchise to end because this movie was so good. I think this might be my favorite Scream movie because it takes the idea that the very first movie had and it essentially modernizes it and does what it wanted to do. It's perfect. I really can't find anything completely wrong with it. Other than the stupid little thing about the daylight kill going unnoticed and the scene where the group drive up to the house and they don't even see Randy's nephew when he's right in front of them and they have their lights on him. I mean, these are stupid little tropes that you have in a horror movie. You don't see the victim, you never see the victim until it's too late. And this movie did turn your attention to other people, trick you. I thought Randy's nephew's girlfriend was actually the killer for a while there when she completely disappeared, leaving her phone somewhere and the killer somehow getting it. I essentially thought she was one of the killers, and I almost thought that maybe there was 3 killers because you have Amber and you have the boyfriend, Richie. But I would have really liked if what's-her-name was also a killer. Might have been a pretty good twist that, wow, they added another killer to the franchise instead of just doing the same thing as the previous 3 movies. I also almost thought that Dylan, the character Wes, Deputy Hicks's son, might have actually been the killer. I mean, I figured, oh, he's a very famous actor. He's that kid from 13 Reasons Why. Why can't he be the killer? That actually might have been pretty cool. That would have been awesome to see. The deputy's son is the murderer. I also kind of like the little thing at the end where Sam accepts that she's Billy Loomis's daughter, and essentially that's how she beats the killer. She accepts herself, she puts everything behind her, and she wins the day. And we do get a very beautiful shot of the 3 final girls, Gail, Sydney, and Sam, as they look out. This is a really good movie, which is why I'm giving it a 9.8 out of 10 for just being awesome. One of the best movies to start this year off with, this horrible year. And honestly, if we can make more horror movies like this, I'd love to see it. I mean, this is definitely an A quadruple plus, and I give it 9.8 ghost face masks out of 10. So yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and click the little notification bell for more videos, and keep your phones close, and be careful when you use the phone tracker, because maybe a killer could be using it against you. Have a great night, guys.